Is it too tight?
It's a perfect fit, Kevin. It's a perfect fit. I can't see a goddamn thing.
Okay, perfect. All right. Welcome to Trailer Hitch.
Welcome to Trailer Hitch, everyone.
You're coming in. There have been a lot of trailers that have come out over the course of the past couple of weeks, and James and I were trying to figure out the best way to whittle it down. Tonight,
I like it. Okay.
I've blindfolded James. I've given him a set of darts, and I've just positioned a bunch of pictures of trailers. And I've just put them all around James's apartment, and James is going to just start throwing these fucking things willy-nilly. And wherever he hits...
Yeah.
We're going to review.
We're going to review that trailer, and we're not even going to tell you what other ones that we didn't hit are. We're just going to tell you the ones that I do hit. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that, Kevin?
I like it.
Okay,
All
so
right,
I'm going to throw this one. Ready?
Okay. You hit Lizzie.
Lizzie. The one about Lizzie McGuire.
No.
Sorry.
It's Lizzie Borden.
Lizzie Borden.
But yeah.
The other Disney Channel star.
Yeah,
yes.
definitely. Okay. All right, so that's our first one.
Number 2, I'm going on this side.
Okay. You hit... What the hell is this? Apparently we're reviewing Puppet Master Littlest Reich.
I don't know what that is, but I'm excited to talk about it, Kevin.
We're going to be doing it. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna spin you for this
Okay,
one.
spin me around. Spin me around. Okay, well, that's enough. I'm a little dizzy here. I'm going to go up on the ceiling. I hope you have a picture up there.
Sure enough, I did. The Slaughterhouse Rulez.
Oh, that's a perfect spot for the Slaughterhouse Rulez.
Yep,
which is a horror comedy, I believe, if my memory serves properly. Mm-hmm. All right, last one.
Yes.
Drum roll. Don't do a drum roll. I changed my mind instantly.
You hit The After Party.
Wow, that's a perfectly.
I feel like that's a
way to cap it off, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah.
Nice grouping.
I really think that your instincts are so good. You were able to hit one that was like perfect for us to end on.
Can I take this blindfold off now?
No.
You can haul your stuff without a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch.
Grab a seat, pour yourselves some whiskey neat. It's time to judge the shit out of these future releases by the movie trailers. We're Trailer Hitch. This movie might totally suck, but the whiskey sure is going down fine. Yeah, we're Trailer Hitch.
Well, anyway, welcome to Trailer Hitch.
As we said before, welcome to Trailer Hitch.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm James.
We here at Trailer Hitch rate and review movie trailers. We rate them on a scale of need to see more, or never need to see. If James and I both give that trailer a need to see rating, we celebrate for a second. We go, we see the movie.
Yep.
Report back to you guys in a segment called Trailer on the Rear View, in which we review the trailer and the movie in retrospect.
Trailer in the rear view, Kevin.
Why? What did I say?
On the rear view.
Did I?
Trailer on the rear view.
Don't pay attention to a thing I say. You can take the blindfold off now, by the way.
No, I think I'm gonna keep it on.
Okay,
cool.
I'm
feeling the feel right here. I gotta rely on my other senses.
You're like Neo in one of the bad Matrix movies right now. Just like so in the zone.
Right now I'm gonna rely on my sense of taste with my whiskey. Cheers me, Kevin.
Oh, smart.
Find my glass.
Smart.
Thank you, because I'm
Way to tie it.
blindfolded. Lovely.
All right, so anyway, we're going to get right into it right here, right now. We're going to be talking about Lizzie, which is a biopic about Lizzie Borden. It seems kind of heavy, so strap yourselves in, because things seem a bit grim.
To your knowledge, did your father have any enemies?
The new housemaid, ma'am. It's Bridget.
My name's Lizzie.
Do you need me help? You have it.
Lizzie Andrew Borden, please place your right hand on the Bible before you.
Did your father have any enemies?
This is America, sir. Every man with a pulse has enemies.
All right, let's work ourselves up into a tizzy and talk about Lizzie. This is directed by Craig William McNeil, written by Bryce Cass, starring Kristen Stewart, Chloe Sevigny, Kim Dickens. We here at Trailer Hitch, we like to give random shout-outs to cast members.
To the lesser-known ones.
The lesser-known ones, yeah. The people who usually get glossed over in these sort of readings.
Not in this podcast, though.
No. Tonight, we're going to be shouting out Glenn D. Bridges, who plays the police officer. Hey, Glenn, good job, bud.
It's a very, very important role. We'll see how he factors in. Mm-hmm. Maybe, if I want to see this movie. I don't know. Let's find out.
Let's find out. First, let me give you like a rough synopsis of what we have going on here. So
yes.
We open up on a shot of a bedroom. The shot is from the hallway. Appears as if there's a corpse. You hear a scream. We immediately get hit with a pre-lap. To your knowledge, did your father have any enemies? When we get a close-up shot of Lizzie Borden, then we start to get some context into what's been going on here. Now, Kristen Stewart's character, she is like a servant or like a...
Housemaid,
yeah,
sure.
That comes into the house.
Yeah.
And immediately the patriarch of this family starts to do some pretty abhorrent shit. You get the implication that he molests her. You get the implication that he likes to kill pigeons. There is this really off-kilter and sort of queasy tension that plays throughout this as the family more or less has to pretend that everything is normal and fine, even though some really out of left field shit happens throughout this film.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Now, Lizzie Borden one day starts to strike up a kinship with this servant or housemaid and is like, do you want me to help? Bear in mind, if you say yes, I might do some fucked up shit.
That's a binding contract. You can't go back on it, just so you know.
And Kristen Stewart's like, sign.
Yeah.
Right on the fucking dotted line. And then you get a close-up shot of Lizzie Borden picking up an axe. We get some courtroom stuff, so we get the implication she might be pinned for this murder.
Looks more like a hatchet than an axe. It's very short-handled, right?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know if that matters, but
I don't want to
we'll
spoil anything for anyone who doesn't know history or like this case or anything.
No.
Totally an axe.
I'm just going to say, there might not be a whole lot of people who know about this. I'm partially one of them. I have heard of the name Lizzie Borden, who this movie is about, and I know from
your life experience.
I know from knowledge. How about that?
Yeah, sure.
That Lizzie Borden is famous because she murdered her family with an axe.
Yeah.
That is essentially all I know about it, though.
Yeah.
And because I know so little about it, and because those are the only details, in my brain, I've always was just like, oh, she's just like a psycho who snapped and killed her whole family. But this trailer makes it seem more like she was a social justice warrior, or like a vigilante,
really
doing
an
right.
emphasis on the warrior and social justice warrior.
It was, but is there any like factoids to that? I mean, I don't know much about the story. I'm just asking you, Kevin, as a professional,
as a professional Lizzie Borden expert. You're a comic book expert. This all falls on me. So I mean, to the popular legend, you're correct. She just snapped one day and just like chopped her family.
Okay.
This film and trailer, I should say, seems to be reframing it in a different way. Now, do I think that's actually what happened? I'm not sure. I don't know a lot of specifics about the case.
Of course. It was a while ago.
Yeah, 1800s, you know, back when a hamburger and Coke cost you nothing because they didn't exist yet. That is rough about what's going on in the trailer. There's a really dope line right at the end, because it does bookend it with the
interview or the
investigator asking, did your father have any enemies? Her reply is, he's a man in America with a pulse. Of course he had enemies.
Yeah.
And that's where it ends off.
Cool line.
Now let's get into what we thought.
Yeah, but like, just to touch on what you were saying, if this is actually how it happened, great. Good. I'm glad the true story is getting out there for people to know. If this is just kind of like a, oh, what if type of scenario, it's like that's a very interesting way to go. It's like, really this person who just straight up murdered their family, what if they were doing it for good reasons though? It's like, wow, that's a really large leap to take. But
yeah, I mean, like, if that's not what's happening here, terrible taste.
Yeah, you're like really like putting it into people's brains that this person was the good guy.
Yeah.
If that is the way it happened. But I know about her is she's crazy who murdered people.
It's not quite one-to-one, but it would be like if Ed Gein was really a vigilante. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, well, no.
Yeah.
He murdered people.
Exactly.
Like, innocent people.
Now, having said all that, wow, was this very interesting to me. I kind of hope that this is how it played out, because that makes it like way more interesting, and I find myself more interested in the tale of Lizzie Borden.
Yeah.
I did really like the style of it. I thought the tension building was really good. I liked how you phrased it, that they bookended it with the interrogation. golden. I thought that was a very effective way to do it.
The last shot of the trailer made me swoon, by the way. It's Lizzie Borden looking off camera, covered in blood.
I don't know if swoon is... I'm a little concerned.
I thought it was so cool.
That's the adjective you used for her covered in blood. I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, yeah, you can take off.
You're freaking me out, and I gotta go.
It's going to be hard for you to leave because you still have your fucking blindfold on.
That's true, but it's just so gosh darn comfortable. Anyway, that was a beautiful shot, and it was cool because I don't know if cool's the right word. It started with the screaming corpse opening shot, boom, interrogation. Flashback, rest of the trailer, boom, interrogation. And then possibly her standing over that dead corpse from the very opening of the trailer. Who knows? I do really like the way the trailer's balanced out that way.
Yeah.
And, hey, you know what? Kristen Stewart looks pretty good in this.
Yeah.
No,
she can act. So can Chloe Sevigny. She's really good.
She looks familiar, but I do not recognize her by her name. But I definitely seen her in something. But yeah, they look like they have great chemistry together. And I know Kristen Stewart gets a lot of shit for the Twilight series, but she's been in a handful of movies that I've really enjoyed. Adventureland being one of them.
Yeah,
I love Adventureland. But yeah, so it's exciting seeing her in something a little different like this.
Well, and definitely in this trailer, I believe Chloe Sevigny is... Even if they are framing her in kind of a more positive light, she is on the fringe of sanity.
You're right. You know
what I mean?
The trailer did a good job.
And what it's positing is her mental snap is due to the shit she has to deal with within her family.
Yeah.
And the resentment that she feels. And that's what makes her go over the edge. Versus, she was just having a cup of Joe one day and was like, you know what? Yeah, I don't have anything going on tomorrow night. I guess I'll just kill my family.
Yeah, it's like, so no one else is gonna do it. I guess I have to. So yeah, that's how they play it, man. It'll be interesting.
What I really enjoyed out of it, though, was I'm a sucker for when movies kind of mix conventions and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool to see what's effectively a horror biopic. Because that's what this is. It's a biopic, but... definitely in the way that it's shot, in the way that it carries its tension, the lighting especially, how tight most of the shots are and claustrophobic. It is shot like it's a horror movie, even though it's a biopic.
It's very... Yes, I agree with you.
And whenever you and I talk about, this biopic felt stuffy... This is the sort of shit that I'm like, yeah, this makes it not stuffy.
This is the opposite of a stuffy.
This makes it really engaging.
Yeah, and more than just biopics being stuffy, but more specifically period pieces that are also biopics being stuffy as hell.
Yeah.
And this is both, and it's not stuffy. One of my favorite shots in it is just a shot of... the camera is following Lizzie Borden as she walks away, and then the camera stops, and all of a sudden she just whips around and looks behind her. I don't know why, but that's just one of my favorite shots from the trailer. I really dug this, especially as someone who is not really familiar with this story, or especially the details of it. But I've always found it kind of interesting. Lizzie Borden, it's just this woman who killed her family with an axe. Tell me more.
Okay, now it's on the chopping block, man.
Ooh.
You get to tell us more. Would you go see this shit in a theater? What do you rate it?
I think I'm going to give this one a need to see it, but it is... I feel like there's room for it to really blow me away, though.
Sure.
In another trailer. But it gave me enough for me to go, I would pay to go see that movie. So it's a need to see it.
You know what?
What?
Me too, need to see it.
I kind of figured, Kevin. Cheers, clink.
Really the only sour note I can give in this trailer is the intellectual bullying. There's a lot of title cards, and one of them says straight up, "You'll be so shocked by the end," and it's like, we know she fucking killed her family.
Unless you really change things up.
You really twist it,
It was the housemaid the whole time.
What?
Oh my god, Lizzie Borden was innocent. What
if this movie, it's like the Thin Blue Line, but for biopics, it's like this exonerates this woman after 200 years of everyone being like, she fucking did it.
Yep.
Okay, but for reals though, we're gonna see this movie.
Yeah.
In a theater when it comes out.
Decision made.
Yep. But in the meantime, we have got to move on, my man.
Let's do it. Let's move on.
I'm trying to think of a good transition for Puppet Master the Littlest Reich, and honestly, going off that name, what the fuck else can you say?
This cellar workshop is where André Toulon manufactured puppets.
Hello. Jesus. Well, you definitely seem like a toy that a maniac would make.
Why would anybody create a Nazi puppet?
They're little, they're fast. Anne Frank was hiding in her attic. Puppet could find her.
Don't ask. Don't ask.
Wow, that trailer sounded really cool, Kevin. I wish I knew how it looked. Did you get it?
No.
Because I still have the blindfold on. I mean, you're staring right at me. Do you also have a blindfold on, Kevin? Were you not able to tell?
Would have assumed you would have taken it off for us watching the actual trailer.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm up for a challenge, Kevin.
Well, we'll see what you think of this movie that you didn't see. This is Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich. This is directed by Sonny Laguna and Tommy Wickland. This is written by S. Craig Zala. Holla.
Zala Hala?
Zala Hala, man. He wrote and directed Bone Tomahawk.
Stellar.
Yeah, dude.
Which I haven't watched, but I just called it stellar, which is
so good.
Usually an adjective reserved for something someone has seen. But.
Anyway, this is starring Thomas Lennon, Michael Paré, Charlene Yee, Udo Kier. Our random shout out is going to go to Jesse Hobson, who plays the bar patron. Hey, Jesse, there's a pretty good chance you're going to get killed in a movie, bud.
Cheers, Jesse.
Cheers.
The bar patron. Patron? Patreon.
Patron?
Patron.
You might be drinking
the
Patron.
The bar patron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Cool. So how do we even describe this trailer?
Well,
look, everyone, there's more than just one adult puppet movie on the block, okay? Things are getting crowded on Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can...
We don't need to get sued by the Henson Company.
No, that's true. Although it would be good publicity, Kevin.
Yeah, anything to drive up those subscribers.
Yeah, so do you mind if I take this one?
Fucking please.
Great, let's get into it. So this is a movie about a group of people that went and toured, looks like, a place where a crazy psychopath made puppets.
Sure.
And they went, that's interesting. Okay, back to our real lives. This probably won't come into play later. And then they go and they leave. And then they start noticing these puppets popping up at their place of work or this exhibition show maybe where they're at. And they're just like, that's weird. Maybe it walked. Maybe. It's like, I feel like you should be a little bit more concerned about it, but whatever. We'll get back to that.
Yeah.
They're not. They're playing it very off the cuff.
Sure.
Whatever.
This
is probably
you gotta
fine.
bear in mind, the puppets are probably about the size of someone's forearm.
Exactly. They're very small.
Yeah, they're very small.
And
makes sense why they wouldn't take them as a threat.
Exactly. Until our man Thomas Lennon picks one up, and the puppet essentially pulls a knife on him from inside its own hand.
Yeah.
From here on out, things start to go crazy. They start to unravel.
Yeah, that was the turning point for Insanity.
Specifically, intestines start to unravel, Kevin.
Yeah, sure. We get some of those in this trailer.
We get hit with it, and I breezed over it, but actually this trailer begins with a really slow word crawl of basically a warning that this is really graphic, this is really, horrible. And
20-some scenes of puppet violence.
You're going to vomit if you watch this. It's great. You're going to have a great time in vomiting and stuff. That's essentially what it's saying. And then later they do have the interjected cards as well with quotes saying, like, horrifying. Even, like, uber horror fans will be, like, shocked by this and those kind of things. And then the trailer ends with like a montage of people screaming, as you do with horror films. And then the good old button of a gentleman opening a door slowly, drenched in blood, saying, "Don't ask, don't ask." Got a good chuckle out of me. Anyway, that is Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich.
Yep.
How'd I do?
Yeah, I think you did pretty well, but now you got to tell us what you thought of it.
Okay, let's do it. I thought this was funny. I definitely didn't know this was, when I first started watching this trailer, I definitely didn't know it was a comedy. I thought it was going to be more along the lines of like Annabelle,
The other doll.
The Conjuring franchise doll one. Or any kind of ventriloquist horror. Dead Silence, I think, was one way back in like the early 2000s. I thought it was going to be more in the vein of that. I was so pleasantly happy that I was wrong. Because I thought this was like really interesting and funny. The dialogue was funny, but in the way the trailer was cut more specifically, I thought they did that slow crawl at the very beginning, which reminded me of like classic horror films. I think The Exorcist maybe had a crawl like that, or definitely The Conjuring did.
Yeah.
And it really sets the tone of, it's going to feel like a old school horror film. Just kidding. And it's not. They definitely amp up the gore and the violence that these puppets
it's really
are
the absurdity of
and the absurdity. Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, they're
absurdity.
not shying away from how fucking silly this all is.
And it's supposed to be silly, and you get that from the dialogue, which is great. Like when they asked Thomas Lennon why puppets, why Nazi puppets, and he was like, they're small, and Frank was in an attic. Puppet could have got her. Like, just the delivery on it, like, it's kind of fun. It's funny. It's objectively funny. I've decided for all of humankind, it's funny. Sorry. Sure. Anyway, those are my general thoughts. How about you?
I sort of admire, like, just how brazen this fucking thing is.
The audacity, man.
The audacity of it. Like, there is a certain charm to it. It's not at the same, like, Mandy level of love for me.
Okay.
Just because this...
Mandy was bonkers, man.
Bonkers, yeah.
Definitely agreed. It's not at Mandy level for me either.
Yeah. This is definitely more, even though it is very, very, very tongue-in-cheek, and I assume that tongues and cheeks will be separated throughout the film.
Well done.
There's apparently 20-some scenes of puppet violence. Did you know that?
21. Very specific.
Very.
They got that number from the MPAA, for sure.
Right. That's a good point, actually. So, I mean, they, it is definitely just, really absurd. And I do appreciate that. But this is very much a classic slasher movie.
Yeah.
That is what is being sold to you right now. And we are talking, 80s, just, grimy as fucking possible, as offensive as possible, as outlandish as possible. We are going to do it. And there is something that I find really charming about that, retro style.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I did kind of feel myself wanting a little more. Because honestly, right now, aside from the joke, and I can't believe I'm fucking saying, where are the Nazis? But, right now, it feels like the fact that there are Nazi puppets feels really incidental to the meat and potatoes of this trailer.
They did not really explain, other than that line of dialogue, and I guess the title of the movie, The Littlest Reich, there's no mention of Nazis, I don't believe, in this entire trailer. So, maybe a little bit more setup that the guy making, the puppet master, the guy making the puppets, was a Nazi. That might have been, unless it was in there and I just it didn't stick out to me.
I mean, and we've both seen the trailer a few times
now.
Yeah. You would have thought, you would have caught
and
something.
And if it is in there and I've overlooked it twice now, then you didn't make it apparent enough. That's essentially how I feel about trailers. It's if I feel like, exactly.
Just
come on, man.
Fucking, snap it away.
Yeah. It's you gotta, if something is important to me understanding something about the trailer or feeling something a little bit more about the trailer, make sure I heard that first part.
Yeah.
Right? I think that was a very fair point.
Yeah.
So.
But at the same time, this does strike me as what I feel like one of the fake Grindhouse trailers would have been. You know?
Yes!
And there's something that I really do love about that. Yeah. So, I mean, overall, man, I can't believe I'm saying it, but, there's a good chance that I would see the new Puppet Master. And you, sir, are more in like the it's good, but meh, camp. Where are you at?
Yeah, I'm kind of flirting the line again on this one, as I did with Lizzie, for completely different reasons. Obviously, they're very different movies. I guess I would have to give this one a need to see more, but so high for me.
I'm in the exact same camp as you.
Okay,
I'm
all right.
like a very high need to see more.
Yeah.
I appreciate the retroness of it.
The audacity of it.
The audacity.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I do feel myself wanting a little bit more. I agree with you, that button right at the very end made me laugh, and definitely, like, swung me up.
Yeah.
It, like, definitely ends on a high. I guess getting a little bit more humor, maybe. And honestly, this trailer is fucking short, man. It's like, once you get past that crawl at the beginning, this trailer's probably only about 60 to 80 seconds.
Yeah. And that's impressive, because it's not just a teaser. Like, you get it.
Yeah.
You get everything you need to know about this movie, with the exception of maybe hit the Nazi thing a little bit harder. I think there's like two things you could have done to really push this over the edge to need to see it for me.
Yeah.
The one, what I wish it was, is even more audacious. Audacious?
Audacious is a word.
Audacitist?
No, it's audacious.
Audacious, okay. More bold, more ridiculous, more silly. That, if you're not going to hit more on the Nazi thing or like the group dynamic, if you're not going to do those things, then more audacious, more crazy.
Yes.
If you want to keep the crazy level to where it's at, then maybe do a little bit more of delving into the Nazi side of it, the group dynamic and the characters, and that kind of, character development and stuff, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't going to harp on the trailer for that just because, I mean, like, it's a slasher movie. Like, everyone's going to play an archetype.
Exactly, which is why I wanted the other thing more.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
All right, man. Well, very cool. Well, let's get out of this here Little Reich, and we're going to just, like, step into this here Slaughterhouse.
That rules. God.
Welcome all to Slaughterhouse.
This is the school pecking order. At the top, we have the bat. And then down at the bottom, Wooten. Who's Wooten? That's Wooten. I'm afraid Mr. Prigg will be unable to teach today or ever again. He died here. Anyway,
there's something in the woods.
It's a gateway, and it leads straight down to hell.
Now, who wants to buy some drugs?
All right, so Slaughterhouse Rulez is directed by Crispian Mills. I'm going to go with Crispian. Whatever your name is, good for you. You directed this.
Crispy Mills. You said Mills?
Yep, this is starring Simon Pegg, Michael Sheen, Asia Butterfield, Nick Frost. Our random shout out is going to go to Joshua Squire, who plays Olympus Boy. Hey, Joshua, way to be an Olympian, bud.
Yeah, hats off to you, sir.
Yep, gold medal for you.
Good job. Blue ribbons.
All right, so Olympus, man, like medals.
Oh! I didn't know what you were doing.
Okay, whatever.
Which is why I made an ass of myself.
Here's what's going on with Slaughterhouse
and
Rulez.
Continue to do so.
We start off with Simon Pegg as more or less like a teacher at this new school.
Yeah. I would say not like a teacher. A teacher.
A teacher. Michael Sheen is his dean.
Yeah.
Just kind of giving him the rundown of, like, things can get kind of crazy here. And then we have the influx of kids who come in, and there's, like, a definitive social hierarchy, and obviously exaggerated one for a comedy in this prep school where, there are the kids at the top and the kids who are just, like, bottom feeders, that whole thing.
I mean, that's been done to death in, like, pretty much any movies... in any movie about a high school.
I want to say since like 1982. We've gotten like one of these a year.
We get it. There's clicks.
Yeah,
we get it. There's an order to things.
Yeah.
But I feel like the button of that joke was pretty funny.
Yeah, definitely.
The bottom of the bottom of the barrel, the absolute, shit bottom of the hierarchy is Wood. Who is Wood? Oh, he's that guy who's taped to the sink right now.
Yep.
I thought that was a pretty good joke.
I did too.
But yeah, other than that, we go from the high school hierarchy thing we get right back into sort of what Michael Sheen was setting the stage for earlier about the spooky, crazy stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
Which leads us to a big hole in the ground.
Yeah. And it turns out, portal to hell.
Yeah.
Turns out, there are monsters.
Turns out, Nick Frost knows everything about it.
And the school's under attack.
Yeah.
And that's more or less what we get out of
That's
this
it, yeah.
And so, what did I think? I was definitely much more mixed on this one. For me, the comedy was really scattershot. I did like the wood joke a lot.
It was funny, yeah.
The gag with him not driving because he needs to put his driving gloves on, Michael Sheen's character, that fucking flat line for me. Because I think as we were getting at with the social hierarchy jokes, it's been done to death, you know, like the person who's like, I need everything to be neat and proper before I can do the thing that helps us escape.
I think you're right. And I think that whole segment could have been edited to a point where it actually worked.
Yeah.
I don't think it worked in this. It fell flat in this trailer.
Yeah.
And maybe it was just too long because we have seen it before. Maybe if you kept it quick and ended it with something more shocking than seatbelts, everyone.
Yeah.
Because the wood character tied to the sink, that was surprising.
Yeah.
That was a surprising build off of something we were familiar with. Do the same thing with this.
Exactly.
You know?
It's also sort of scattershot, too, because the trailer begins with Simon Pegg's character and Michael Sheen's character, and then we spend a bunch of time with the kids, and then like, the trailer definitely splits it down the middle. And, like, my gut says the movie is probably more so about the kids, but because Simon Pegg and Michael Sheen and Nick Frost are really the star power, like, they're probably just focusing on them to just sell it. And if the movie is actually about the kids, I would have rather just seen that. Otherwise, if this is indicative of the movie itself, then this movie feels like it's going to be really scattershot and, like, unfocused.
You've said it a few times, and I think scattershot is a perfect description, not just for the humor, but just the trailer in general. Mm-hmm. It was, first of all, it didn't really change its energy throughout they had sort of the same song playing throughout the entire trailer. I
did notice
that,
when
you keep that energy at the beginning and you just keep it at that same energy throughout, even though it is a higher energy, it ends up feeling flat by comparison because you didn't make your audience go through any energy shifts, any shifts in excitement.
Yeah, they definitely
or anything.
didn't play the hole in the ground or the monsters really for tension.
No.
It was just like, this is still the same wacky level of fun through the rest of the trailer.
And a lot like Lizzie, I feel like maybe what they were trying to do with the Michael Sheen and Simon Pegg bits were bookend the trailer, but it just doesn't feel bookended because you didn't really do anything other than just maintain that same level throughout.
I agree.
I think I really want to like this a lot. Seeing Simon Pegg and Nick Frost in a movie together just will always get me excited. Always.
Definitely.
Even though, like, for example, Paul was fine. Like, I didn't love Paul. But I was still super pumped to see it because I love those two guys together. Michael Sheen is a great comedic guy, and I think he could do really well with it. I think the visuals of it look interesting. I don't know. The attitude of the trailer seems fun. But like I said, you didn't change. You didn't go through any motions at all. It was the same the whole time. So that's essentially how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Do you want me to give a rating?
I do.
Is that what you're waiting for?
Yeah, I am.
I was just teasing you. No, I forgot. So here's my rating. I'm giving this a never need to see it. And it feels harsh because I feel like it looks like there could be a lot of good stuff in this that I like. But overall, this trailer just was like, threw a whole bunch of shit there and just kind of place them in whatever order.
Yeah.
There didn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to the trailer.
Definitely. Yeah. So. I'm giving it, like, the movie itself, I would probably say is a need to see more. This trailer specifically is a never need to see.
Yes, and that's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
And yeah, man, I totally agree. Like, I really do think you're right in that music choice is important for a trailer. And
it's what I'm saying every episode.
Yeah, and I think this is a really clear example of what it's like when it is not done effectively. And I definitely get the impression from this trailer was either just developed from a marketing standpoint of kind of like the Morgan trailer, like an AI cut it, you know? It's like, these are the things that are in comedy trailers.
And you got to bookend it with 2 things from the same scene, and then blah, blah, blah.
We did good.
Joke here.
Or, I mean, like, someone put all their time, love, and attention to it, and if this happens to make it to your ears, and that is the case, like, you know, like, I'm sorry. Like, it
didn't work for me.
Yeah.
There might be someone out there who loved your work.
Totally.
I wasn't a big fan of it.
Absolutely.
That's fine. Yeah, and like look, the song itself isn't bad. I think there are aspects of this trailer.
I think it's a pretty common one for trailers.
Oh, it very much is. I've heard it before in trailers, but it would go good with the visuals that this trailer is presenting at certain times. But you can't just play it the same way the whole trailer. You gotta switch it up a bit. So there you go.
I agree, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now that this party is over, let's check out the after party.
Oh, I wanted to wrap it up. I wanted to call it a night. I'm tired. I'm getting old, Kevin.
Well, I mean, yeah, the party's done, man, but there is an after party.
As long as there's not an after party.
You threw the dart. We have to do this.
You're right.
I know this will come as no surprise to anyone here, but Wiz Khalifa has some incredibly strong weed.
Have a seizure. Not my Yeezys, bro!
So they're calling him Seizure Boy, and they even have a seizure dance.
Stick a fork in him, he's done. Tonight, the after party to end all after parties. Everyone in the game will be there. French Montana.
T Grizzly?
Yo, this is Pusha T. All you have to do is spit a fire burst and we got ourselves a record deal.
You got a plan to get us in.
The kid always comes through in the clutch.
The kid rarely comes through in the clutch.
Yeah, she's got a point. The kid basically never comes through in the clutch.
DJ Kevin! That's you. I just came up with it. Yeah, that's your new DJ name.
Thank you. I thought you were gonna say DJ Khaled's name, and I'm like, that might be copyright infringement if we scream DJ Khaled's name, because that's every DJ
But
Khaled
I
song.
didn't, Mr. DJ Kevin.
All right, so this is the after party, written and directed by Ian Edelman. This is starring Ammon Joseph, Andy Buckley, Shelley Heinig. I'm probably butchering a lot of these names. I'm really sorry, y'all.
It wouldn't be the first time, Kevin.
Wiz Khalifa, that one I got right. Pusha T, a bunch of rappers. A random shout out is going to go to James Z. Brooker, who plays Bro. Hey, Bro. Good job, bro.
Was his name James?
Yeah.
Bro! That's my name too, bro.
Oh, bro!
James! Bro James!
It's
James
like you're
Bros.
in a movie.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Anyway. All right, so this is the deal. We got a guy who wants to be a rapper, really has been, like, grinding, hustling, and it's getting him nowhere. And, like, him and his manager buddy are, like, starting to get... Well, the rapper is specifically starting to get frustrated. The manager is just, like,
he's oblivious.
Yeah, flippantly positive. So this rapper guy, he goes and... is going to perform an open mic, and Wiz Khalifa happens to be here. And I don't know if you know this, but Wiz Khalifa really likes pot, so he smokes some Wiz Khalifa.
I didn't, but now I do from this trailer.
Yeah.
Also, I'm glad they said you're Wiz Khalifa, because I wouldn't have known who that was when he walked on.
Are you a big rap guy, James?
I am not, Kevin.
Let me be your Sherpa for this. All right, so
was that Run the Jewels?
No, shut up. So this wannabe rapper smokes Wiz Khalifa's weed. Gets up on stage, performs maybe like a few bars out of a verse, and then projectile vomits all over Wiz Khalifa and has a seizure on stage. It gets captured. It goes viral. He becomes known as Seizure Boy.
But he's okay.
He's okay.
Yeah, it's not cool to make a meme out of someone unless they're okay afterwards.
honestly don't think it's okay to make a meme out of someone having a seizure in general, but whatever. He goes viral, and more or less the running consensus throughout the community is like, this guy's never going to have a career as a rapper.
Right, yeah.
He gets recognized as Seizure Boy. He's embarrassed. And basically his manager buddy's like, fuck it, let's just try to be rappers anyway, right? And so they try to get into this really great after party where there's going to be a bunch of rappers there. French Montana, Pusha T, the whole like.
Did you just have a seizure, boy?
No, those are all rapper names.
Oh, okay. Not familiar with any of them.
Pusha T's last album was really good. Anyway, they are basically just trying to get into this after party, so this guy has one more shot to get in a verse and try to make it as a rapper.
Yeah.
So the trailer, I would say the comedy style is very 90s. Like, this is very reminiscent to me of, like, if Airheads was about rap.
That is a very fun analogy.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's not like a one-to-one, but, like, that sort of style. You know what I mean? Of,
I haven't thought about Airheads in, like, 10 years.
Not many people have.
Yeah.
Maybe Ian Edelman, the writer-director of this film, has. Because, like, I definitely get, like, those fingerprints of kind of, like, outlandish, like, some elements of gross out here and there. But with this undercurrent of, like, you know, the underdog is going to try and take it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I would say, though, that this does sort of have a bit more of a mean streak, though, of, like, again, this dude has a seizure on stage, and everyone's like, that, and that's, like, more or less the impetus of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, that's internet culture for you. I mean, it's not realistic.
Yeah. So, overall, I mean, as of right now, most of this didn't land for me.
I'm getting that from you. What specifically didn't land for you, though?
I felt like a lot of the rappers were just kind of, like, in it to have those big names in it. I don't really see, like, at least Wiz Khalifa at the beginning. Okay, it's Wiz Khalifa's weed. It's really strong, and that's what gets him to vomit.
He has an impact on the plot of the movie.
Exactly, yeah. And right now, it kind of just seems like DJ Khaled and Pusha T. Pusha T is just on a phone in a car in this fucking thing. Like, those rappers just seem to be in it for you to go, no way, this person's in it.
Yeah.
And honestly, for me, I still get like that sometimes. But then once the shock wears off, like, I step back and think, Pusha T was just in a fucking car talking on a phone. Like, that added nothing to this trailer other than to say Pusha T was in it. And so that stuff wasn't really landing for me. And I guess a part of it, too, is I don't really understand why this after party, like, what makes them think that's going to change it all around?
Yeah, the after party is definitely an afterthought of this trailer, even though it's the title of the movie. But I think part of the charm of it is the fact that his manager is so, like, at that point of the movie is just like, oh, this'll work. And, like, our main character, along with the viewer, will probably go, well, no, it's not, you idiot. What are you, a moron? Yeah. That's not going to fix anything.
Yeah.
But he's so, like, good-intentioned that I feel like, because I get the sense that they had been friends since they were kids.
Sure.
And he's just kind of, like, humoring his manager, quote-unquote, in going along with it. That's the impression I got from the after party aspect of the trailer. But like you said, it comes out of nowhere. I didn't really have any problem with the stuff you mentioned. I'm not very big into the rap scene of the music industry. So those, like, little blink and you miss them pop-up cameos from rappers, they were nothing to me. And I was okay with it. As long as that's the kind of movie it is. If that is his role in that movie, there's something funny I find about that. And it's kind of, you could say the same thing about certain, movies like the Muppet movies have just, like, random cameos just pop up. It's just like, oh, Jack Black is in the Muppet movie right here for a second. He will have no impact on the plot whatsoever.
I guess the way that I would put it, though, is, like, at least with that Muppet movie, like the Jason Segel movie, where, like,
yes, that is the example I could only come up with right now. So let's go with that one.
is there is actually like a story there, however simple it may be.
To the movie.
Yeah.
Yes,
absolutely.
but not to all these celebrities in it.
Absolutely. But like those are more kind of like an accoutrement to the actual Muppets versus this is the driving force. And I guess right now the conflict and really the characters too just feel so empty that that's really all that I can take away from this is just that Pusha T's in this and he talks on a phone.
Sure. But that is so far from my concern because I don't know who any of those people are. So I didn't care. So that was it for me.
Do you get anything? Because I mean, like, I don't really know what the managers.
I would say he's actually the more interesting part of the whole trailer so far. It's definitely not the main character, in my opinion. He's very bland. Yeah, very
so bland.
Very flat, very bland. Not energetic at all. Like his little rap at the beginning that. I was like, oh, this is fun. He's like doing a rap for someone in the bathroom stall. It's like, dude, don't even talk to someone that you're washing your hands next to them at the sink. Don't even do that, let alone sing to them in the bathroom stall. So I like that aspect, and I had high hopes after that scene. For him specifically, my hopes were just kind of like, he just like was not really that important in the trailer to me. Like for me, the takeaway from the trailer was the manager, just this guy who just like is oblivious to the fact that you got no shot.
Yeah.
But he's just like, let's try anyway. And
it's like really a lot of the things he's setting him up for. He's setting him up for failure.
Yeah,
like,
but not intentionally.
Not intentionally.
He's got the most decent intention with it. Unfortunately, it did lead to one of the worst lines in the trailer where they have the interaction of like, the kid always comes through in the clutch. Oh, you barely come through in the clutch. Yeah, she's got a good point. You don't come through in the clutch. I'm like, we just heard that 3 times. Okay,
didn't like it. Wasn't really funny the first time. Either,
and you ended with the most bland person saying the third one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
and I guess like that would be something I would want out of another trailer is like give me more of the main dude where I want to root for him. Because
let him shine a bit more.
Yeah, right now it's more so just like general empathy of like, oh, that situation sucks.
Yeah.
But right now, yeah, you're right. I mean, like, he doesn't really have a character to speak of other than his ambitions.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like, it would be nice if they gave him a little bit more. I mean, sure, like, I might walk back a little bit and say, like, maybe you could get some solid stuff out of, like, his friend, the manager.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now there just isn't enough in this for me to like get any level of excited.
I gotcha, and I was kind of charmed with the humor in it, and
sure.
I don't think it's an exciting movie, but I don't think it's supposed to be. I think it looks more like a laid back type of chill. This might be a funny movie type of watch, which I like those kind of. Those are nice palate cleanser movies that I really enjoy. This definitely isn't like a great trailer though, so that's why I'm giving it a need to see more.
Okay, I'm at a never need to see.
Okay,
surprise!
Makes sense. Yeah, that's fine. Makes sense.
But I mean, like, hey, I've upgraded. Like, I've seen second trailers and like gone up from a never to a need to see more.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the name of the game, man. That's what they're striving for.
Yeah. So I mean, like, maybe like it would be really cool if I watched another trailer and was like, oh shit, this clicks now. But
that might not be
didn't do it for me.
Yeah, that might not be what Netflix is striving for. I think their game is usually one trailer and then. Look, it's on Netflix. Don't you want to watch it? I'm going to put it on your front page. Don't you want to watch it?
Or it's a 10-second ad during the Super Bowl, and then, fuck you, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
Yeah, Netflix movies don't really have more than one trailer that often.
Yeah.
It's usually like just the one.
Game Over Man, we talked about a couple of trailers. I think
that's accurate. You're right.
That's the only time it's stuck.
So I immediately take it back. I was wrong.
I mean, like, for the most part, you are correct.
Yeah. We don't see them that often.
Yeah. Before we go, I just want to say... my usual spiel, like you can find us on iTunes and Stitcher. However, you can find us someplace new now that I wanted to highlight.
Highlight it, man.
We actually have uploaded our backlog onto YouTube. So you can find us as Trailer Hitch Podcast if you search that into YouTube. You should be able to find our profile. You have all of our episodes up there. So if you happen to, want to just fucking throw on an episode on YouTube, or I'm trying to think of a scenario. Your phone is broken.
You want to hear these shrill voices lull you to sleep. That's what it's all about.
Maybe you're at work and you don't have access to your iTunes, but you still want to listen to the podcast. You can come and listen to us on YouTube, because you can access that presumably wherever.
You're damn right. You crushed it. That's where we're at now. YouTube.
That's the best way I can put
Trailer Hitch Podcast at YouTube. Check it out, guys. And which leads us into our next thing, which is on that YouTube channel, you will find our wonderful art for the podcast.
Yes, by Rachel Ashley. She killed it. Speaking of killing it, Dana Schmitz, Lost in a Name, thank you so much for that theme song.
Killed it.
Thank you so much for the awesome outro by Casey Clowers, which you'll be hearing in just a few moments. And Instagram, please follow us at Trailer Hitch Podcast.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Trailer Hitch Podcast, yeah.
And then you can find us on Twitter at Trailer Hitch Pod. You can find us on Facebook if you just search Trailer Hitch Podcast.
You can find us everywhere, people.
We are pretty fucking ubiquitous.
Even on iTunes. Look, we're having some issues with iTunes right now. Let's just put it out there. That's okay. We're figuring it out.
Well, I mean, hopefully you're listening to this on iTunes and you're like, I don't know what they're talking about.
That's a good sign.
That would be, if that's the case, strike list from the record.
Yeah.
If you're listening to us on YouTube and you're like, wait, you guys still post on iTunes? We do. We are switching our podcasting host right now. We're kind of getting some kinks ironed out.
We're working on it.
So, yeah, you should be able to get most of our...
But you can still subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. We're still on iTunes. It just hasn't been uploading our newest episodes.
Yes.
But you, like we just said, you can find them anywhere, people. Find them anywhere and everywhere.
Pretty fucking ubiquitous.
Yes.
All right, cool. Well, James, is there anything you would like to add?
I would like to add, have a wonderful night, everyone.
You know what? That's a good thing to add. I'm going to add that too. I hope you all have a great night. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Cheers, Kevin. Bye.
Bye.
You can't mount holy sails without a sailor stitch, and you can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch.
Dude, for real, I'm going to be leaving your apartment. You need to be able to see to get back to your bed. I'm taking your blindfold off.
All right, fine.
All right. Let me just untie this.
Yep.
Keep your eyes closed.
All right.
I don't want you to get blinded the second that we take this. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. How's it feel?
Can I open my eyes now?
Yeah, you can.
Wow. It's my kitchen.
Yeah. Exactly as you remembered it.
Give me back the blindfold.